The Nintendo Switch is an amazing console. The fact that you could play it on the go and on a TV is amazing. And, well, there's some other stuff. And, well, I have nitpicks about the Switch. That doesn't mean that these outright annoy me, but yeah, they should, these should be easy fixes most of the time. Actually, no, all of my nitpicks are easy fixes. So, let's begin with the first nitpick. So, main one, lack of backwards compatibility. I'd say Nintendo is known for backwards compatibility. Like, for example, the SNES being able to play Game Boy games via the Super Game Boy. Or, the GameCube having backwards compatibility with the Game Boy Advance. The Game Boy Advance being able to play Game Boy and Game Boy Color games. The Game Boy Color being able to play Game Boy games. The original model of the DS and the DS Lite being able to play, Game Boy Advance games. Then the DSi removed the slot. Like my DSi, for example, right here. It's my brother's old one. No DSi's. Oh, no Game Boy Advance slot. The Wii being able to play GameCube games, use GameCube memory cards, and GameCube controllers. The Wii U being able to play Wii games and use Wii controllers. The 3DS being able to play DS games. Why no backwards compatibility, Nintendo? With the Nintendo Switch. Like, yes, they're porting some of their old games over to the Switch, but I don't want ports. You're playing practically the exact same game, but you have to buy it again. Like, let's say I have Mario Kart 8 on Wii U. Well, I want to get Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, I have to pay full price again. It's so annoying. And shocking. Because like I said, or did I say it? I don't know. But I'd say Nintendo's practically known for backwards compatibility. Now, actually no. Like the 3DS and DS would make a lot of sense. Like, I'd be okay with, even if you have to buy an accessory that is similar to the Super Game Boy, where you plug it into here and then put in your DS and 3DS games, and then have to have an attachment where you'd have to plug in the DS, like a dual screen, but that wouldn't really be backwards compatibility. So, like, technically the Nintendo Switch does have backwards compatibility, but you have to buy an adapter, which leads into the next nitpick, the GameCube controller. You see, Nintendo re-released the GameCube controller around when Super Smash Bros. For Wii U released. And it's actually been, the GameCube controller has been compatible with every single Smash Bros. Game, except for the first one, which makes sense because the GameCube had Super Smash Bros. Melee. The GameCube controller wasn't released until the GameCube came out, and the GameCube came out after Super Smash Bros., the original, which came out on the Nintendo 64. Anywho. And then the 3DS version, but the 3DS version makes sense. Then, my brain is just... So, you could actually play Super Smash Bros. Brawl and a couple other games like Mario Kart Wii using a GameCube controller, because the GameCube slots on top of the Wii. Well, the GameCube controller slots on the top of the Wii, and being able to play GameCube games and GameCube memory cards. So, then also with the Wii U having the Super Smash Bros. For Wii U, re-released the GameCube controller, but you need an adapter for it. An adapter. Really? And it's the same thing with the Nintendo Switch. Because of that adapter, you can't play it in handheld. You can't play with the GameCube controller in handheld mode. Really, Nintendo? And next, like, this is still with the GameCube controller. But just the fact that it, like, they didn't update it except for the printing with the Smash Bros. Logo on it. That's it. Like, not making it wireless. Well, that's obvious because of the adapter ports. Not making it compatible with other games. Like, what? Nintendo? Really? You're not? I'm shocked. Like, third-party controllers. Like, this is a third-party controller, but I'm gonna get a third-party GameCube controller, for the Switch. But, like, third-party ones have added the stuff that makes it needed for other stuff, or for other games. Clickable joysticks, the additional shoulder button, the plus button, the minus button, the capture button, the home button. Like, and making it wireless too. Nintendo, it's not hard. And then, with it being wireless, you could also play with the GameCube controller while in a handheld mode. Nintendo, it's just easy. That's an easy fix. So, that's really what like, they've re-released the SNES, NES, and Nintendo 64 controllers wireless via the Nintendo Switch Online. Why not do the same as the GameCube controllers? It annoys me. Then, the next nitpick I have has to do with these side buttons. Now, they're only utilized, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they're only utilized when playing with the Joy-Cons on that side. Not that much games that support it. The main ones I could think of are Super Smash Bros., Mario Odyssey, Mario Party, and Mario Kart. That's it. Why not make it more? Like, I can understand why, because there aren't 2 joysticks per Joy-Con. Meaning that some 3D games can't do it. Like Mario Odyssey as a compromise. You have to hold down the top button and then be able to move the joystick to move the camera. So, that I understand, but why not make it that other games actually utilize this? Maybe ARMS and 1-2 Switch utilize it, but I have no clue because I have not played those. And, like, it would be an easy fix. Like, it would make it that more complex games would be able to, like, PC games would be able to fit on the Nintendo Switch. Because of that, you might say, well, then people would have to play with the Joy-Cons, like, who would have to play with the Joy-Cons? Nintendo can make a grip where you could press the buttons while in handheld mode. They can even make a Pro controller like this. These have programmable back buttons. Make them not programmable, but they have 4 buttons making these versions on the Pro controller. Heck, even the grip could do the same thing as like what I mentioned with the handheld Switch. Make it that there's an adapter, making it that you could press the buttons while in handheld mode. Or on the grip thing. Instead of just acting like it doesn't exist. What else do I have to say about the Switch? With my nitpicks. Oh yeah. Now, battery life is awful, I'll admit. Like, I didn't have the transition, like, I just forgot to mention these earlier. The battery life is pretty awful for something that is a handheld device. But also, if I'm not mistaken, this doesn't have overcharge protection. I looked it up and I think it said it doesn't have overcharge protection, which is crazy because you could slide it into the dock and be on TV, and it has constant power charging it. No overcharge protection? That seems like a stupid idea. And I think it doesn't have overcharge protection because I had it in my dock for maybe a month, a couple years ago, and I swear the battery has been worse ever since. Now, on to my next nitpicks, which, well, yeah, I'm just gonna get to it. Anyhow, you see this on the bottom? This has an IR camera in it, along with 2 LED lights. Well, not LED, they're lights. They're mainly used for games like Nintendo Labo. Basically, here's what happens. The light shoots out of it, bounces off reflective tape, goes into the camera, and sends a signal to the console. It's pretty cool, I'd say. It's one of the most impressive things I've ever seen. And why not utilize it more, Nintendo? Like with the Variety Kit, you can actually see through the camera. You could see it in night vision or thermal. That's it. But Nintendo, why not make it that it could also, like, use as, like, what I'd call capture Joy-Cons? Like, there's the DSi, which had a camera, and the 2DS and 3DS had cameras. Why not make it that you could utilize these, Nintendo? I'd call them capture Joy-Cons. I already said that. But basically, my idea would be you'd be able to, like, there's a camera app. There'd be a camera app on the Switch, or in the settings at least. And you could be like, this, and there'd be a microphone on the bottom. And you could be like, hey, this is me recording YouTube. This is me recording a video or something. Why isn't that a thing? Like, that'd be cool. And lastly, no me maker. There are also smaller nitpicks that I'm just going to mention now. Like the fact that there's no menu music or shop music. It just feels kind of bland. And that's really it for my nitpicks. Thanks for watching this video. Don't really have much to say for an outro, except for blah blah blah, Nintendo Switch. That's really all I have to say. Thanks.